Something is happening right now, in the silent dark above our heads, that has every space agency on Earth holding its breath. The interstellar object known as 3I, Atlas, the third visitor ever confirmed from beyond our solar system, just did something no one thought was possible. It changed course. Not slightly, not a subtle drift. It executed a maneuver so precise and so powerful that it breaks every known law of celestial mechanics. For the first time in history, the International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, a UN-endorsed global defense coalition, has begun tracking an object from another star system. The IAWN's entire purpose is to monitor rocks born in our solar system that could threaten Earth. This move is unprecedented. They aren't just observing 3I, Atlas, they are tracking it. But why now? Why this one? Because new data suggests 3I, Atlas isn't where it's supposed to be. Not according to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, not according to any orbital prediction, and not according to the fundamental rules of gravity. The math simply stopped working. If this object really altered its trajectory, what we're witnessing may not be an astronomical anomaly. It could be intentional. The first hint of something wrong came from an independent research collective known as Earth Exists. They compared live telescope data with JPL's Horizon System predictions and found a discrepancy that made their blood run cold. 3I, Atlas wasn't just off course. It was 1.1 million kilometers away from where it should have been, roughly 3 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. This displacement wasn't random. Comets can drift forward or backward due to outgassing, where jets of vapor act like natural, chaotic thrusters. But they don't move laterally. They don't sidestep gravity. To do that, an immense external force would be needed, or an internal one. If 3I, Atlas had shifted its orbit, someone had to have noticed. Attention immediately turned to NASA. As early as September, NASA's Mars orbiters were perfectly positioned to photograph the object at close range during its solar flyby. Those images have never been released. Not a single frame. Internal sources claim the data is being analyzed, but others suspect deliberate censorship. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist, had already noted that 3I, Atlas exhibited a bizarre antitail, a jet of material pointing directly toward the Sun, a stunning physical contradiction. But after the Mars encounter, that antitail reportedly flipped, suddenly flowing away from the Sun like a normal comet. It was as if someone had simply flicked a switch, reorienting the thrust. No natural comet has ever reversed its jet direction so cleanly. And yet, NASA insists it's routine cometary activity. If it's so routine, why is the world's asteroid defense network involved? By late October, new tracking data confirmed the deviation was real and sustained. It would require a lateral velocity of nearly 4 km per second, more thrust than some of our own deep space probes. But just as astronomers tried to model this impossible drift, 3 Atlas changed direction again. This time, it was a full correction. Observatories in Chile, Spain, and Japan detected a secondary deflection. This new burn was smaller, but it was perfectly calculated to nudge the object back onto its original trajectory, as if it had noticed its own drift and corrected it. This was no random event. The movement was symmetrical, precise, and exact, a 2-part maneuver, the kind of automated navigation check a spacecraft would execute. The IAWN issued a panicked internal alert, pattern recognition event, a high-level classification meaning the behavior matched no known natural phenomenon. Simultaneously, the European Space Operations Centre, ESOC, released an encrypted update, confirming 3I, Atlas had produced measurable acceleration inconsistent with gravitational influence. In simple terms, the object had fired something. When the Very Large Telescope in Chile analyzed its infrared emissions, it found the proof: a sudden, brilliant spike in thermal radiation. It was a burst lasting exactly 12 minutes, followed by a rapid, complete cooling. It was as if a controlled, high-efficiency engine had ignited, then shut off. The moment the data went public, every space agency scrambled. The heat curve didn't match any chemical rocket. It resembled a magneto-hydrodynamic acceleration signature. It's the same technology humanity has only theorized for interstellar travel, and it was running silently in our own backyard. Then, its rotation rate, previously stable, began to fluctuate. It wasn't tumbling. It was a precise harmonic pattern, a pulse repeating every 247 seconds. Its new heading pointed not toward interstellar space, but toward the outer planets. Specifically, its adjusted trajectory intersected with the orbital path of Jupiter. Analysts calculated that 3I, Atlas was preparing to use the gas giant, the gravitational behemoth of our solar system, for a gravity assist. It wasn't just passing by, it was using the planet. That was the moment global monitoring reached what NASA calls Level 3 contingency. The object's movement was now classified as active, intentional, and increasingly unpredictable. Then, without warning, every observatory tracking 3I, Atlas went dark. In less than 10 minutes, telemetry from Hawaii, Chile, Italy, and South Africa simultaneously froze. The Deep Space Network lost contact. It wasn't just a loss of data. It was a total, simultaneous, global void. When the data streams resumed 47 minutes later, they all showed the same thing. 3I, Atlas had vanished. It wasn't destroyed. It wasn't hidden by the sun. It was gone. Missing from every registered coordinate. But a faint echo remained. A low-frequency hum, undetectable to the human ear, pulsed across the network once every 247 seconds. Each pulse coincided with the object's last known spin period, as if the signal was still out there, echoing. The object hadn't just disappeared. It had jumped. The countdown for a full week, the world had no idea where it had gone. Then, the James Webb Space Telescope, staring into the black, detected a faint flash of reflected light moving at impossible velocity, streaking just beyond Jupiter's orbit. It had performed what physicists numbly called an instantaneous vector relocation. It had changed position faster than the known laws of physics should allow. Scientists were left grasping for explanations. Wormholes, warp bubbles. Theories that belonged in science fiction, not in an official report. The IAWN Command Center in Vienna then received a priority transmission marked Level Omega. It contained a partial data stream reconstructed from the 47-minute blackout. When decrypted, the data wasn't telemetry or images. It was binary. A structured transmission embedded inside the network itself, synchronized with that 247-second pulse. When decoded, it formed coordinates. Not for space, but for time. The location matched the orbit of Jupiter, but the timestamp didn't. It pointed forward, exactly 6 years into the future. At first, analysts dismissed it as corrupted data. But as the reconstruction continued, something horrifying became clear. The coordinates weren't for Jupiter. They were for Earth. A trajectory marker, precise to within kilometers, indicating where 3I, Atlas would intersect with our planet's orbital plane in the year 2031. A 6-year countdown. The object hadn't escaped the solar system. It had set an appointment. The file was immediately locked under the Asteroid Hazard Level 10 protocol, the same classification used for civilization-level threats. Every national space agency denied its existence. The International Asteroid Warning Network went dark permanently. All public feeds, all open observation logs, vanished from the internet. The official reason: system restructuring. The truth: a new, private network of encrypted observatories was established, operating outside any government jurisdiction. Its codename: Project Helios. Their sole, desperate mission: to track whatever 3I Atlas has become, and prepare for its return. Now, every 247 seconds, a faint pulse still echoes across the solar system, a reminder that the story isn't over. The world may have forgotten 3I Atlas, but the universe hasn't. If this story made you question what's really moving out there, subscribe to this channel. We uncover the discoveries that agencies won't admit exist. Turn on notifications, because when 3I Atlas returns, it might not just be passing by. It might be coming home.